Good evening, Belize, and welcome to XTV's news broadcast for Monday, June 2, 2025. Making the headlines tonight, joint unions reiterate demand for 8.5% salary increase. Attorney Orson Elrington pleads not guilty for rape on indictment in High Court. Man fatally shot outside his home in Belize City. And Belmopan student charged with unlawful carnal knowledge of fellow student on campus. We take our first break and return with the news in detail.
Prepare for the heat and stay cool with a Reamer Grey air conditioning unit from Benny's. Choose the right BTU unit size for your bedroom or living room and enjoy complete comfort. You can also save money with an inverter unit that is energy efficient. When the heat is on, stay cool and comfortable with an affordable, dependable AC unit from Ream or Gree. Available at Benny's. Quality and savings.
At Atlantic Bank, we stand as more than just a financial institution. We are your partners in progress, dedicated to fostering your success by providing tailored solutions to micro, small, and medium enterprises. Your successes are our triumphs, and every success story deserves to be celebrated. We pledge to stand by you every step of the way. Today, we celebrate the values that define you with your unwavering dedication, steadfast commitment, boundless innovation, resolute work ethic, and unyielding ambition. We will navigate challenges, seize opportunities, and continue building the future together.
Imagine getting rewards for your spending. Smart prepaid customers countrywide, it's time to level up with Smart Gains. Smart Gains are exclusive, limited time offers sent straight to your phone. We're talking irresistible rewards. You'll actually want extra credit, bonus data, and exclusive perks, all tailored to you. Because it's Smart, we've always got your back. Don't miss out on rewards made just for you. Smart Gains, Smart Savings, Smart You. Smart, bringing people together.
Tired of replacing light bulbs? LEDs are what you need. LEDs last up to 30,000 hours. That's 30 times longer than incandescent bulbs, and up to 8 times longer than compact fluorescents. So less changing and less trash. Planet Earth thanks you. And the LED experts at Brothers Habet and Habet will help you find the best LED solution with colors for every room and mood, starting as low as $6.95. You can even get LED strips for home, office, and industrial use. So say goodbye to fluorescent tubes forever. And because they use up to 90% less energy, you save money. Money you can spend on other things. So head to Brothers Habet or Habet today. You can also call, email, or Facebook us. Have a brilliant day.
In Belize, we value our families. We value our communities. We value our neighbors. 90% of Belizeans think it's time for laws that protect all of us and reflect society at its best. 94% of Belizeans agree that public spaces in Belize should be more accessible to people living with disabilities. In Belize, we believe in fair treatment and supporting one another. We know that our beautiful country is at its best when we come together for the greater good. 2 out of 3 Belizeans support a new law to prevent discrimination in employment and public spaces. It shouldn't matter where we come from, who we love, or what we look like. Belizeans deserve to live our best lives. It's time for laws that protect all of us and reflect our society at its best. Equal Opportunities Bill. Belize, we're ready.
Welcome back with your news. I am Drea Espinosa. The Joint Unions Negotiating Team, JUNT, which represents the 3 public sector workers' union on Saturday, May 31, wrote Prime Minister John Briceño reaffirming their request for an 8.5% salary increase and rejecting the government's 3% counter proposal. The JUNT tells Briceño to, quote, carefully consider the clamor of our joint membership and consider returning with an improved and defensible proposal, end quote. It also maintains that the adjustment should be applied to pensioners. The unions have welcomed the government's proposal for the reinstatement of 1 increment, but also remind that 3 increments remain withheld from public officers and they need to engage on a clear timeline to reinstate the remaining increments. The unions have asked the government to respond by Wednesday, June 4th, and also that if a meeting is to be held to advance discussions, it take place no later than June 7. On the matter of the minimum wage, the JUNT says it acknowledges the government's commitment to engage stakeholders in raising the national minimum wage to $6, but affirms that this should not delay action, quote, to ensure that all public officers earn a dignified living wage, end quote. On the other matters, the JUNT seems satisfied with the government's response. Back in July 2024, attorney Orson O.G. Elrington was committed to stand trial in the High Court for rape. Senior Magistrate Aretha Ford denied the request from Elrington's attorney, his father's senior counsel Hubert Elrington, for the matter to be disallowed. The case stems from an allegation made by a woman in January 2024 after an encounter with the attorney at an entertainment spot in Belize City. She reported that she accompanied him to his home along with another woman who was socializing with her after he offered to drop them home. The allegation is that he told them they'd go for one more drink. She further claimed she lost consciousness and woke to find that she had been raped. Elrington, in defense, has maintained that their interaction was consensual. Today, upon arraignment in the High Court, he was formally indicted for rape, and as a case management conference was set for July 1, 2025. He pleaded not guilty and will be tried by Justice Nigel Pilgrim in a judge-alone trial. A Belize City man was fatally shot around 4:30 this morning outside his home as he was preparing to leave for work. He has been identified as 59-year-old Egbert Flowers, a Belizean driver of York Street, Belize City. According to reports, Flowers had left his yard and was on his motorcycle when a male individual approached him and fired several shots at him. ASP Stacy Smith gave the media an update today.
Police are investigating the murder of Egbert Flowers, 59-year-old Belizean of York Street, address Belize City, which occurred in the early morning hours of June 2nd. The investigation has thus far revealed that Flowers was departing his residence at around 4:25 a.m. when he was accosted by an armed male individual who fired several shots, fatally injuring him. Police are investigating this incident. This area is one which has video footages, video cameras, the police surveillance footages. So they are being reviewed intently with a view to ascertaining how this incident unfolded and with the view of ultimately making an arrest.
In a very disturbing incident on Wednesday, as teachers were exercising a stick out, Belmopan Comprehensive School called off classes earlier in the day. However, reports are that some students stayed on campus unsupervised. A 13-year-old female student has since reported to the police that at around 10:30 a.m. she was assaulted by a 14-year-old male student on the school grounds. Today, ASP Stacy Smith told the media that the 14-year-old has been remanded to the New Beginnings facility.
On Thursday, 29th May 2025, police formally arrested and charged a 14-year-old male minor of Belmopan City for the crime of unlawful carnal knowledge. This arrest came as a consequence of a report being made by a 13-year-old female minor that on the 28th of May, whilst on her school compound in Belmopan City, the male minor had sexual intercourse with her against her will. The male minor was arraigned before the Belmopan Magistrate Court, where he was subsequently remanded to New Beginnings facility. The report made by the female minor is that there was no consent, and importantly, I must note that persons under 16 cannot give consent, but certainly the facts that have been forwarded to the DPP office, her in her wisdom decided that the charge of rape was suitable under the circumstances.
ASP Smith has since clarified that the actual charge is unlawful sexual intercourse. We sought comment from the CEO and the Ministry of Education on whether they are involved in any investigation and if there was a breakdown in security and supervision on the part of the school management. She has not yet responded to our request. Our reports are that the school has claimed no responsibility for what occurred. In more union news, the 5 demands of the 3 public sector workers' union negotiating with the government include a request for an increase of the minimum wage to $6. The government has responded that it will increase the minimum wage in accordance with Plan Belize 2.0, quote, after proper engagement and consultation with all the relevant stakeholders, end quote. Dean Flowers, the president of the Public Service Union, has clarified that they are only negotiating for public officers, not for the workers in the private sector. He therefore says the government needs to show it values its own workers.
I want to also clarify that where our request for $6 an hour is concerned, it was never intended to force the government of Belize to enter into conversation with the wider stakeholders on increasing the minimum wage. It was to say that you as the government, as the largest employer in this country, have a duty to set the bar and to treat your workers with some dignity and respect. No government worker should be earning $5 an hour. None. All government workers should be above the minimum wage because of the public service that they provide. And so, as part of these ongoing discussions, the government of Belize will have to respond to public sector workers that are earning $5 an hour. We want public sector workers to be treated with respect and dignity, and so we're calling for $6 an hour minimum in the public service. And when the Britannia administration raises the minimum wage to $6, then they need to also raise the minimum wage for public sector workers to $7, because our workers is providing public service, the most important public service you can think of. Domestics, they keep all of us surviving, all are we healthy, and these domestics are earning $5 an hour. The individuals who cut the roadsides, who keep our streets clean, $5 an hour. Any government should be ashamed of themselves to be paying public sector worker that low rate. And remember, these people are on fixed salaries, so they don't even get an annual adjustment.
After the break, Budna charged over social media posts. And union president says late model vehicles obtained for some ministries after elections. Stay with us.
Nando's Wholesale is your market leader in Belize's wholesale industry when it comes to high-quality products at the most reasonable and competitive prices. With over 40 years in the wholesale business, Nando's Wholesale embraces the partnership of the hotel industry in Belize by providing world-renowned brands in wines, seasonings, condiments, and cleaners in industrial sizes, as well as small and large kitchen appliances and equipment. Nando's also takes pride in providing one of the quietest and most durable air conditioning systems in Belize with technical support and spare parts. Nando's Wholesale. Professional, reliable, effective, and prompt. Nando's Wholesale always delivers. Visit us at www.nandos.bz or send an email to nandos@nandos.bz. Or, even better yet, give us a call today at 222-500 or 280-8080 to speak to one of our sales representatives today.
Purchase at Design Depot gives you a chance to win one of two $2,500 shopping sprees. Design Depot, all in one place. Mile 3 on the Philip Golson Highway.
Sea una persona ocupada o atrapado en el tráfico, o que tenga una circunstancia adversa o muy exigente, la tensión se acumula y lo estresa. El estrés ataca a todos en cualquier momento, a cualquier edad. El estrés es un asesino. Es mejor estar vivo que muerto, así que visite la farmacia de Freetown para obtener opciones.
Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Qué puedo hacer para usted hoy?
Estoy bien estresado.
Ok, tengo una pastilla que te va a ayudar, ¿ok? Que toma una de eso al día para 10 días y va a estar bien después, ¿sabes?
Ok. Farmacia Freetown, carretera 28 Freetown, donde estás mejor vivo que muerto. Farmacia Freetown, teléfono 22 32 87 6.
Self-styled reporter Joseph Orion Budna of Trial Farm, Orange Walk, was charged Friday under the cybercrime legislation after a woman filed a complaint against him for posts he had made on his Facebook page. ASP Stacey Smith also gave an update on Budna's report that he was whipped by a man who was chasing him away from a property in San Felipe, Orange Walk, while Budna was reporting on a land dispute.
On Friday, 30th May 2025, police formally arrested and charged Joseph Budna of Trial Farm Village for 2 counts of using a computer system to publish computer data to cause a person substantial emotional distress, and 1 count of using a computer system to disseminate a false information, a false statement with the intent to cause another person to be the subject of public ridicule. This arrest and charge was as a consequence of a report made by a female in relation to several postings of Mr. Budna. In relation to Mr. Budna's report, police have commenced an investigation and they are in the process of recording statements as it relates to the allegations that have been made by Mr. Budna.
The 3 public sector workers union who negotiate on behalf of teachers and public officers have always emphasized the need for transparency and accountability, as well as the prudent management of the public purse. Over the years, they have contributed to holding the government accountable by whistleblowing on wrongdoing within the government ministries and departments. In an extended sit-down with Creme News XTV last week, Dean Flowers, president of the Public Service Union, shared that since the 2025 March general elections, some government ministries have acquired spanking new late model vehicles.
Immediately after elections, we started seeing a whole fleet of brand new vehicles. When the next house sitting, you guys need to go there and see all these brand new 2025 and 26 vehicles that were recently bought. In some ministries, three vehicles alone, they run there almost $1 million. These guys are rolling now in luxury, and then they have the audacity to say to public officers, no, we need to continue to throw crumbs at you, so that we could hold on a hostage, just like how we hold our constituents hostage by throwing crumbs at them in the different constituencies that they represent, because that is what they do.
Flowers revealed this when we asked if public officers are riled up by the revelation of 2 questionable contracts from the Belize Airports Authority to 2 PUP insiders.
I don't know why the Belizean people are acting surprised. This is another legacy of the Briceño administration. In 2021, the Public Service Union highlighted fly-by-nights in the pharmaceutical industry. which is responsible for hundreds of millions of dollars. And the Belizean people didn't see it then. It cannot be that they're just seeing it now. We brought to their attention several fly-by-night pharmacies, several fly-by-night importers, several fly-by-night service providers. You never see somebody wake up the other day and open one dry cleaner. Come on. It's this security one that just one of many. You know how much security companies are out there? You know how much companies are out there now where they get contract for build roads? You know how many new companies are out there who all of a sudden could provide computer softwares? So this is a legacy that the Bishop administration put in place from 2021. So the fact that these fly-by-nights, as you call them, have now reared their head in the aviation industry is not surprising to me. I've been saying this and pointing this out from 2021 when this administration took over, and this is my favorite. This was one of the terms that I used to use. Let's see who will be the new overnight millionaires.
Attracted the attention of the Public Service Union is the unchecked concessions that are granted to foreign investors who wish to pursue multi-million-dollar business in Belize. PSU President Dean Flowers says it is time for the government to change the model being used to award concessions for the Belizean public to benefit more.
They give these blanket checks. Nobody audits these investments. So if an investor comes and proposes to invest $200 million in Belize, immediately cabinet roll out the red carpet and give 20 years tax concession, 25 years tax concession, and nobody audits what will be the cost of those concessions to the Belizean people. And so while they're investing $200 million in tax concession alone, over those period of time, these people might be walking away with billions of dollars. And what does the Belizean people get? Absolutely nothing. So we're saying that kind of model needs to be revisited. You need to start tasking your financial experts in the Ministry of Finance to start auditing how much money we're leaving on the table when we give these blanket concessions. And we're also saying perhaps it is time that we create a model whereby the investor is able to recover his money after making the investment. So the investor wins in that he recovers his money and we start winning immediately thereafter. So you don't want win-win. You cannot continue to win and we continue to lose. Look at Norwegian. Who is winning there? Who is really winning there? Look at the tourism sector. Who is really winning there? It is the investors who continue to enjoy these concessions.
Flowers says the concessions need to be quantified. He pointed to exemption of environmental tax for BSI. Turning now to more police news, a 3-year-old toddler tragically lost his life on Friday after he reportedly drowned in a bucket in the family's yard in Red Bank, Stan Creek. The toddler, who has since been identified as Jose Luis Sandoval, was in the care of his 16-year-old sister. The sister reported that sometime around 3:40 p.m. she noticed he was missing. His body was found shortly after, and despite efforts to save him, he was pronounced dead at the Independence Polyclinic.
Police are investigating the death of 3-year-old Jose Luis Sandoval, which occurred on 30th May 2025 in the Red Bank Village, Stan Creek District. So far, what investigators have been able to ascertain as it relates to that incident is that Sandoval was left in the care of a 16-year-old relative when at approximately 3:40 in the afternoon, because she could not locate Sandoval in the house or in the property, she extended her search to the property adjacent to theirs, and that search ultimately concluded with the discovery of Sandoval in a bucket which contained water. No visible injuries were observed on Sandoval, and the body now awaits a postmortem.
A road traffic accident on Saturday night in Orange Walk Town has claimed the life of one man. He has been identified as Steve Bell. The accident occurred around 10:45 that night on the San Andres Street. According to reports, Bell was traveling on a motorcycle which was struck from behind by a red SUV driven by Heidi Chan, who was served with a notice of intended prosecution.
Police are investigating the death of Steve Edward Bell, which occurred on Saturday, 31st May 2025. On that date, the police responded to the scene of an accident on San Andres Street in Orange Walk Town, where Mr. Bell was observed in an unresponsive state and exhibiting varying degrees of injury to the body. Also observed in the area that was designated as the scene of the accident was a Lifan motorcycle which bore damages and an SUV. What the investigators have thus far ascertained is that Bell was the pillion rider of the motorcycle when the collision occurred between that cycle and an SUV.
Bell's mother, Shirley Bell, was at home when the collision occurred nearby. She said she heard the accident but was unaware it was her son. She said her son took his last breath as she got to the scene.
I'm outside on the veranda when I hear this vehicle come under heavy speed, right? So I just said, man, who they drive so hard? But when I hear the knocking, the impact, I look up and I say, man, somebody get hurt. But I see when this person, like one shine thing, gone like that, I never know them on motorcycle, right? And I see when it breaks, and this person gone up in the air and drop. So I say, man, who must get hurt? And one young man when he passed and he said, Mommy, he said, that's Steve. You know, they knocked down. And then I conscious that my son. When me and my nephew, my grandson, run out there, he take his last breath.
Your son's girlfriend, I understand she's injured? She's in the hospital?
She's in the hospital. She can get 3 surgery. The foot, the hand, and the hip. You don't get 1 surgery, the 2 left.
She made a drive.
She made a drive the cycle, because Steve don't know nothing about drive cycle. Well, he not no trouble, man. He not give no trouble. He ain't go fishing. Every time you want to find him, go to the riverside. In the door, they don't find him. Or if he not fishing, he never went go on a season. He try catch one or he catch a bucket off his head. Or because he say he don't want to be back. Nobody be for him bass. He not one bass. He go fishing and things like that. And when he dey home, and he in a working mood, he can throw your garbage, he can cook for you. So he say, oh lady, you don't cook today, I will cook. Because I could cook better than you, so I will cook today, you know. And things like that. If he say, well, he's an aggressive person, no, everybody knows Steve.
After the break, police are investigating the deaths of 2 U.S. nationals in separate incidents. Stay tuned.
Imagine getting rewards for your spending. Smart prepaid customers countrywide, it's time to level up with Smart Gains. Smart Gains are exclusive, limited time offers sent straight to your phone. We're talking irresistible rewards. You'll actually want extra credit, bonus data, and exclusive perks. all tailored to you. Because at Smart, we've always got your back. Don't miss out on rewards made just for you. Smart gains, smart savings, smart you. Smart, bringing people together.
At Atlantic Bank, we stand as more than just a financial institution. We are your partners in progress, dedicated to fostering your success by providing tailored solutions to micro, small, and medium enterprises. Your successes are our triumphs, and every success story deserves to be celebrated. We pledge to stand by you every step of the way. Today, we celebrate the values that define you with your unwavering dedication, steadfast commitment, boundless innovation, resolute work ethic, and unyielding ambition. We will navigate challenges, seize opportunities, and continue building the future together.
Prepare for the heat and stay cool with a Reamer-Gree air conditioning unit from Benny's. Choose the right BTU unit size for your bedroom or living room and enjoy complete comfort. You can also save money with an inverter unit that is energy efficient. When the heat is on, stay cool and comfortable with an affordable, dependable AC unit from Ream or Gree. Available at Benny's. Quality and savings.
The Minister of Infrastructure Development, Honorable Julius Espat, detailed the features of the road upgrade from Belmopan to La Democracia, for which government is borrowing $13 million from the Kuwait Fund for Arab Economic Development. He said they insinuated the cost is high for 18 miles of road. Here is the minister speaking during his contribution to the budget debate for fiscal year 2025 to 2026.
You failed to explain to the people of Belize. Did you tell them that this road would be hot mix, Leader of the Opposition? Did you tell them that we will be doing the rehabilitation of the Beaver Dam Bridge, leader of the opposition? Did you tell them that we would build a new bridge at Mount Pleasant Creek, leader of the opposition? Did you tell them that we'll do a major roundabout at the George Price Boulevard? Did you tell them that we'll do another major intersection to be able to support the new hospital that's being built? Did you tell them, leader of the opposition, that this highway will be one of the first highways in this country that will experience a third crossing lane at different intervals? Did you tell them, leader of the opposition, that the highway will be elevated approximately between 18 to 20 inches along the stretch that is being discussed? And did you tell them that we are incorporating all the modern features, including drainage factors? And that's when you throw out numbers without understanding where these numbers come from. So let me explain to you, leader of the opposition, when you give a mile per road estimate, it varies from road to road to road. But in all the estimates I have seen, we have never built a road for $8 million a mile.
Espat described the George Price Highway as the most important thoroughfare in the country and noted that it has deteriorated to the point that it has left no shoulders left. Upgrades are to follow for the remainder of the highway through to Belize City. Espat reminded that the government is mandated to maintain a road network that is 3,156 miles, of which 684 are paved, 2,266 are gravel, and 205 are earthen. Police are investigating the deaths of 2 U.S. nationals in separate incidents in different parts of the country. As we shared last week, the body of 64-year-old Fred Mason Hoffman was found on the floor in his home on the Placencia Road on Thursday night, just before 10. He was last seen alive earlier that same day. His wife was away, and police sought her permission to gain entry into the house. Reports are that neighbors became concerned after not seeing Hoffman for some time. Police are also investigating the death of 56-year-old Jeffrey Allen Young, who was found in an unresponsive state on Sunday in San Pedro. ASP Stacy Smith provided an update of both investigations.
Police are currently investigating the death of 2 U.S. nationals in separate circumstances. The first investigation pertains to Fred Mason Hoffman, 64-year-old, where on 29th of May at approximately 9:51 p.m., police visited a residence on Placencia Main Road, where Hoffman was observed in an unresponsive state. He was subsequently escorted to the Southern Regional Hospital, where he was pronounced dead on arrival. The body of Hoffman did not exhibit any visible injuries. However, it now awaits a post-mortem. Police were alerted as they were called to conduct a welfare check on the residence, as persons familiar with him had stated that they had not seen him for a few hours, which is something outside of the norm for him. As it relates to the second death investigation pertaining to the U.S. national, this one concerns Jeffrey Allen Young, 56-year-old American national who was residing in San Pedro town. This occurred on June 1st, 2025. The wife of Young reported to police that around 3 o'clock p.m. on that date, she made checks on her husband and found him in an unresponsive state. Young was not known to have any pre-existing medical conditions. However, due to observations made by the officers on the scene was processed by SOC personnel, and the Body was subsequently transported to the Carl Hushna Memorial Hospital, where it now awaits a post-mortem examination.
49-year-old James Mendez was reported missing. However, tragically, his body was found on May 23, lying at the bottom of a 40-foot well on a farm in rural Orange Walk District. ASP Stacy Smith told reporters today that the results of a post-mortem revealed Mendez was fatally shot. Police have yet to ascertain a motive, and there are still no suspects.
As it relates to the murder investigation concerning James Mendez, which occurred in Orange Walk, the post-mortem was conducted on the body of Mendez, and the result is that the injury that was observed on the body when it was discovered was a gunshot wound, which has been designated as the cause of death. Police investigation into this matter continues.
An extended family that lives in one yard in the Rocky Road area of Belize City was impacted early Saturday morning when a fire broke out at a house that sits in the center of their yard with 4 adjacent houses. The house where the fire started could not be saved by the fire service, but the others were, although with some level of damage. The fire displaced 30-year-old Benjamin Hyde and 35-year-old Clarence Hemmons and 55-year-old Glenn Trapp. Everyone, including children, has to be evacuated from the compound. If you wish to assist them, you can call Ziandra Beard at 621-0707 or Kia Hyde at 624-0758. And a resident in the Kings Park area of Belize City reported the killing of at least 6 dogs Saturday by a swarm of bees. The deaths were discovered along 6th Street. Steve Mahler says he was notified by 2 workers that his dogs had been attacked. The 2 workers were themselves attacked, but they managed to escape serious harm. Mahler reported that the bees originated at an abandoned house on a property owned by the Anglican Church further along the same street. Mahler explained that officials from the Ministry of Agriculture said they were unavailable to respond due to the National Agriculture and Trade Show, and said he was told he could hire a private exterminator, whom he said would have charged close to $8,000, depending the extent of the work required. According to Mahler, the city council then committed to send a private exterminator in the afternoon. The report is that other animals in the area were also attacked. And the Court of Appeal has upheld judgment awards to the tune of $330,000 for former Prime Minister Dean Barrow and former Deputy Prime Minister Hugo Pat. The damages were awarded to the 2 men as a result of violations that arose out of the 2021 process of the Commission of Inquiry into the sale of government assets under the previous UDP administration. The commission was chaired by attorney Andrew Marshallek. The court found that Barrow and Pat were not afforded natural justice to respond to the findings in a commission's report. As a result, sections of the report had to be removed. Barrow represented Pat, and he was represented by Naima Barrow. The government will also have to pay costs. The commission had previously faced a damage award of $105,000 to former Minister Godwin Hulse. And with that, we've come to the end of our newscast. The repeat can be viewed on this station later tonight at 9 and again tomorrow at midday. Join us again tomorrow for another news broadcast. I am Drea Espinosa. Have a safe and enjoyable evening.